All right, so if we look at equilateral triangle, what word is an equilateral? Equal. What other word is an equilateral? Yeah, do you guys know what lateral means? Side to side, yes. Like in football, lateral pass, you pass it through the side, yes. So we got sides. So what do you think an equilateral triangle is? Equal sides. Boom. Let's go ahead and draw this equilateral triangle. Ignore those little squares, just draw the triangle. And notice how we have these little tick marks to represent them being equal sides. What do you guys have in wrestling that's lateral? Do you have a move like a lateral move or no? Oh, okay. It's complicated. All right. But you go. All right. So an equilateral triangle is an equal angular triangle, which means these three angles are equal. Now, if we have a triangle that's equal to 180 and all of the angles are equal, what is the measurement of each angle? Or how would we come about solving for it? We have a triangle that's 180, and Becca says that we could divide it by what? 3, because we have 3 angles that are equal. So divide it by 3, because we have congruent angles. So each angle is equal to 60 degrees. So this angle is equal to 60 degrees. This angle is equal to 60 degrees. And this angle is equal to 60 degrees. Any questions? So this part is super duper important because it's going to help you answer any of the questions that have equilateral angles. Equilateral or equiangular. Equiangular have all angles equal to 60 degrees. So if they say this angle is x, x is equal to 60. If this angle is y, y is equal to 60. If this angle is z, z is equal to 60. Any questions? All right. So we have our 2 theorems. Don't write this down because we'll do the shortcut version of it. If we have a triangle that is equiangular, then the triangle is equilateral. And if the triangle is equilateral, then the triangle is also equiangular. So let's use my own colors. So we're going to say if equilateral, remember equilateral is same or congruent sides, then equiangular, which means congruent angles. And what is the measurement for each angle? Perfect. And put a little star, always 60 degrees. And the opposite is also true. If we have equiangular, then they're equilateral. So we're going to go backwards. If equiangular, then equilateral. Aren't they so pretty? The colors. Love them. Yay! Any questions so far? All right, let's start practicing. And what time did class start? 35. So at 12:05, in 15 minutes. If I'm still talking, stop me so we can take a break. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and Draw this first triangle. Now this triangle, there's plenty of ways to solve it. And here we're going to solve for y. What kind of triangle do we have? It's equilateral. How do we know it's equilateral? Good. We have these little tick marks that tell us that they're the same. Now the measurements, are they giving us the measurements of the angles or the sides? They're giving us the measurements of the sides. Yes, you are correct, Alexandra. Great job. So let's look at the sides. We know they're equal. What's an equation that we could use to find out what y is equal to? There are 3 ways that we can find y. What's one of them? We know they're all equal. They're all congruent. So what's one way we can write an equation to solve for it? What symbol do we use when we say that they're congruent? Equals. What's equal? 10. 10 is equal to 2y. That's true. They are equal. So let's solve for y. Y is equal to 5. That's one way. What's another way? 10 is equal to y plus 5? 10 is equal to y plus 5. They are equal because their lengths are congruent. So we can solve for y there. Perfect. And then we have one more. Okay, tell me that again. 2y. There's one more way we can solve for y. Just say it. What's the worst that can happen? You could be wrong. Yeah, so we learn from our mistakes. So 2y is what? Yeah. 2y is equal to 10. That's why we got this one. Great job, Julie. And then 2y is equal to, y plus 5 is equal to 10 also. That's how we got this one. What did you say? Yes. So the other way that we can get is 2y is equal to y plus 5. And then we solve for y. So we subtract y. Oopsie. This gives us y is equal to 5. Notice, no matter what approach we took, our answer was always 5. So I bring this up because there are times where we could be solving for something and you solve for it in a different way. I don't want you to think you're wrong. You could be right. There's different ways of doing it. All right, let's go on to the next problem. Go ahead and write this one down. So what kind of triangle do we know we have? Equilateral, because of these tick marks. And what does that mean about all my angles? Yeah, they're all congruent. So what is my x equal to? 60. Boom. Done. All right, let's look at this next one. And a lot of these problems are like the problems that you have on your assignment. Okay, what kind of triangle do we have? I have 2. It's equilateral because of my little tick marks. So what does it mean about our angles? They're also congruent because we have equal angular. So let's write that down. Equilateral means we have equal angular, which means every single angle is equal to what? It's equal to 60 degrees. Now this is where a lot of students get confused or they don't know what to do. Notice how this thing has an angle measure. That means that whole expression is representing the angle. So if they're telling you that the angle measure is a certain number, put that it's also equal to 60. This one is equal to 60, and this one is also equal to 60. So what equations can we use to find our x and our y? We already have them on there. What's my first equation? 60 equals y minus 10. So let's solve for y first. So we've got y is equal to 70. And then what's my second equation? This one right here, where it's x plus 5 equals to 60. And we get x is 55. So again, as soon as you know that it's equilateral and it's equal angular, label all your angles at 60 degrees. If I already has an expression, put it equal to 60. And those are your equations to solve. All right, let's go on to the next one. What kind of triangle do we have? Equal angular. And we know it's equal angular because of the equal angle. So because it's equal angular, what do we know about the sides? Right, they're all congruent, so then we know that we have an equilateral, which means all sides are congruent. Now, the measurements that they give us, are those measurements for my angles or measurements for my sides? They're the sides, because remember your angles should have a, should have a little degree measure, and these don't have that degree measure. So because it doesn't have a degree measure, then we know their sides. So how can we make this equation to solve for x? We know that all sides are what? All sides are congruent, and if all sides are congruent, then what symbol do we use to show that they're congruent? Equal. So then what would my equation look like? Right. So we've got this side and we've got this side. We've got this side and we've got this side. And because we know they're congruent, then their measurements are equal. And then we solve for x and we get x is equal to 8. So what's the length of each side? If x is 8, instead of x, we plug in 8. Right. This is 18, which means this side is also 18, and this side is also 18. Good job. All right, we've got one more example. Let's go ahead and write this one down. Oopsie. Ooh. And then we'll take our break. Yes, Alexander. On our break, I'll do it. All right, what kind of triangle do we have? It's equilateral. How do we know it's equilateral? Right, all these tick marks. So if it's equilateral, then that means it is equal angular. And what does it mean for every degree measure? Every degree measure of an equal angular triangle is the same, which is what degree measure? What's that magic number? 60. So because each angle measure is 60, then we make this one equal to 60, this one equal to 60, and this one equal to 60. So what are my two equations? You've got 3y is equal to 60. So y is equal to 20. And then we've got 2x equal to 60. So x is equal to 30. Any questions? Alrighty, we'll take a 10-minute break.